Curiosity, interest, and obsession. Mile markers on my road to damnation.
Hello everyone, Science Viking here, and it is time to return to Darkest Dungeon. Okay, so the first question is, does anybody need stress treatment who doesn't have the curse? Fontamai does. So let's have him flagellate. And then let's send the people with the Crimson Curse to the bar, so that way there's no risk of contagion. Okay, Dismas apparently can't receive treatment at all. Neither can Clarinel. So it's really just Tornabut that's going to get treated. Because the issue is, I don't want to risk contagion of the Crimson Curse, so I'm just going to have to wait a little while before I get the stress taken care of. In the meantime, we're already a little broke. And I have a fairly large crop of newbies that really need some experience, so I think it's time to take on some low-level missions. Let's see. So you get the Lock of Patience, which is okay. Or the Cursed Incense, which is actually quite good. Or the Bloody Herb, which is honestly not very good. It basically just powers up Incision, but I don't use Incision very much. And it's a long mission, which is high risk. So, let's go for this one. Now, who to bring? Well, step one, what are my options? I'm going to have to bring Sword of All, because I need a main healer. And other than that, since I'm already bringing a Occultist, I may as well go for some mark exploitation, so let's bring a Bounty Hunter. And, let's see. So a Bounty Hunter, a Grave Robber in position 3 because of Thrown Dagger. And then Montgomery, the Hellion, can be in position 1. Blood money. Okay. As usual, we need to do the Trinket Dance. Right, I still have no Occultist-specific equipment. Well, since he's the main healer, he gets Junia's Head and a Worry Stone. One of these days, I'm actually going to get the, No, speaking of which... Okay, he doesn't have Unspeakable Commune. Unfortunately, I don't really have enough... I don't have the best camping skills on this team, but I also don't really have the cash to upgrade the camping skills. For the Grave Robber, I'm just going to go with the Blighting Satchel and the Sickening Satchel. It's not ideal because of the high blight resistance of the enemies in this area, but the plus 25% blight skill chance combined with the fact that this is a novice mission might be enough to make it work. And for the Bounty Hunter, he gets the Crime Lord's Molars, and... what can I do to increase his melee attack damage? I'll give him the Legendary Bracer, because the Hellion can use the Lioness Warpaint, which gives her increasing damage buffs as her health gets lower, and I'll also give her Heaven's Hairpin. Okay, not the best team composition, but since it's an easy mission, it should be viable at least. Bring plenty of the blood, bring plenty of food, at least a moderate amount of food, a couple of shovels, some torches, plenty of anti-venom and bandages, some medicinal herbs, a couple of keys, and a little holy water. Okay, let's go make some money and gain some experience. And yeah, the swine are resistant to disease. Unfortunately, we are not resistant to disease.
To prosecute our war against the swine, we must first scout their squalid homes.
How much space are we in? Okay, this is not that large of a map, which is good. And given the layout, it actually should be pretty easy to avoid backtracking. Okay, he's already craving. The issue with craving is that he'll be bumped up to bloodlust if I actually give him any of the blood. So I'm going to wait until he's a little lower since I don't really want him to have bloodlust. Okay, and it's our first room battle and it's already pigs. It's just pigs all the way down. Okay. That was a very disappointing Iron Swan. Thrown Dagger won't kill. Poison Dart theoretically could, but it would take...
The ground quakes.
But let's combine that with Evil's Pull for a little bit more damage. I'm gonna let him act once, and then he'll die on his own. Also, Collect Bounty can do pretty good damage despite the chopper. Or it could get a critical and do that. Okay, so the chopper is gone and the madman is almost gone. This was a fairly productive surprise round. And the madman always sounds like his tongue is a little bit too big for his mouth. Hook where it hurts. Right in the pride. And again. Okay, Collect Bounty doesn't do extra damage to the wretch because the wretch is not human. And it doesn't do any damage to the wretch because the wretch knows when to duck. Okay, pick to the face won't kill. Poison Dart actually has a pretty good chance of life. I'm just gonna go with that.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
I just need to inflict any amount of damage to the wretch and it's done. Okay, he's wasting. Let's give him some of the blood to get him up to passive. And Vulnerability Hex will do 1 damage. Or it will miss. That's the other thing it might do. Okay, let's go with If It Bleeds on the Slasher. Okay, that leaves just the wretch that wouldn't die. And pick to the face will take care of it.
As the enemy crumbles.
Alright, may as well use First weird reconstruction and we get a 0. At least it didn't cause bleeding. And we already have a journal page. It's one we've seen before. Okay, what happens when I use holy water on this? That happens. Minus 20 dodge until camp. Remind me not to do that again. Room battle with a table. See how quickly we can empty this group. Okay, I should be able to one-shot this with If It Bleeds, assuming it causes bleeding, which it does. And I can... Alright. And let's go with Vulnerability Hex on the chopper to get a good mark. Start taking out the wretch with Poison Darts. And Collect Bounty has a pretty good chance. It can one-shot without a critical thanks to the damage boost, and has a decent chance of doing so. And it got a critical anyway. Okay, that's the wretch. One more turn and he's gone. And the slasher is already gone. Alright. Go ahead, just vomit it all out.
Slowly. Gently.
Stress attack is so bad it's stressed the person next to you. What are you bleeding for? You're only bleeding for 3. Thrown dagger.
Give them no quarter.
And there we go. Great is the weapon that cuts on
Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
And the medicinal herbs. Let's see what we get. All we get is food. 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 Food is all we get. Well, we don't have room in our inventory to carry it, so we may as well just eat all of it. Consider it a mid-work snack. And more scouting. And more nothing to inspect. And more wretches to kill, because there are always more swine wretches. The swine wretches truly never end. The swine wretches are post-scarcity. If it bleeds on this one, decent chance for a one-shot. And we got it. Okay. Fortunately, this wretch actually gets to do something before it dies.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
You know, I feel like the slow death is more likely to be foreseen. It's definitely unforgiving, but like unforeseen really would apply to like getting murked by a critical from full health, which has happened to us quite a few times. Slowly dying due to damage over time is kind of the opposite of unforeseen. But that, the 47 damage critical, that's very unforeseen. Also, the Cardin is reminding me why the Bounty Hunter class is so much fun.
Broken. Maintain the offensive.
I'll drop the damage stone to the crest. I do like damage increasing trinkets, but I already have some very good ones like the legendary bracer. So the damage stone isn't really terribly impressive by that standard. And we essentially, I was going to say we essentially get a free move, then I remembered we haven't scouted this hallway
predate
yet.
even the earliest settlers.
And the crate is empty. A lot of things have been empty today. Is this just... Did somebody else already go through here, and are we just picking up their leftovers? Salvage the unburned torch. Let's just blaze it immediately. And another empty crate. At least it isn't a shambler. I know shamblers can't actually show up like that, but I'm going to be grateful anyway. Okay, booze. I'm pretty sure this gives a damage buff. I know it gives a... Yep, plus 30% damage until camp. Yeah, the DPS heroes are going to be rather impressive for the rest of this mission. Okay, Thrown Dagger could one-shot, and it
Another
does.
abomination, cleansed from our lands.
Wicked Hack will one-shot. The only way it can't is if it misses. Collect Bounty will also.
Be gone, fiend.
And let's see if we can go for the... I was going to say trifecta, but what's one more than a trifecta? We can't. It's not... There's nothing that the Occultists can do that would do enough damage. But we do have to deal with one of these. And it missed! Which means this gets to be one of those rare instances where we end the fight with more hit points than we had when we started. I had to say it. I just had to say it, and now it's not true anymore. Well, okay, it's technically still true. We gained more hit points than we lost, but I really need to learn not to open my big mouth. I just keep ruining these things for my team. Okay, light up a torch, because there's probably enemies in here. Or not. Okay, got my route figured out. Fortunately, this map is pretty straightforward. We're not going into this room unless I get scouting and tells me it has something valuable in it. Because scouting never lies. 5-9 might kill, but didn't. Wicked Hack will kill.
Executed with impunity.
Demon's Pull will kill.
Continue the onslaught.
And collect bounty.
Them.
Oh! And Cardin, the true master of unnecessary critical hits. I don't even have anything on him that increases his critical rate. This is just his base critical hit chance that he's working off of, and he just gets every critical possible.
Another one falls. A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
Let's see what medicinal herbs does for the stone. I haven't tried those yet. Nothing. I'm not going to investigate it without some kind of protection. No, I have spare anti-venom and spare bandages. I don't expect them to work, but let's find out. And screw it, let's add a torch to that. Okay, so none of those did anything. I'm not willing to risk one of my only 2 shovels. Okay, this is an opportunity to get an invitation, and we actually have a team composition that's well suited to pulling this off. Let's try it. We're going to need the invitation if we want to complete the Crimson Court. Perfect. Maddening Wine forced the Gatekeeper into position 2. With Poison Darts, he has medium blight resistance. Okay, Raging Slight miss, but it wouldn't have mattered a whole lot if it bleeds. And there he goes! Okay, he's gone, which means he can't retreat, and we get an invitation. Okay, let's vulnerability hex the other manservant, and the high dodge. The high dodge prevails, but I don't need the mark. Okay, that leaves just the sycophant. Poison darts will not kill. Thrown dagger will not kill. Pick to the face will not kill. Poison darts will at least add damage over time. Or not. It's going for the thirst, and it succeeded. Alright, no Crimson Curse at least. Again, let's try to mark. Actually, I'm mainly in this for the debuff. I mean, The bounty hunter, yeah, the bounty hunter probably was guaranteed, or at least the bounty hunter could have one-shotted it without the mark. Now he's guaranteed to, but the debuff is what really matters.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
I don't want to leave behind the deeds, but frankly, money is more important than heirlooms for the moment. Though heirlooms kind of help with money issues because they allow you to, a lot of the upgrades make things cost less. Okay, I'm actually just going to make camp. This is mainly just to reduce the stress levels and clear up some inventory
tenuous
space.
firelight and uneasy companionship.
Gallows humor. Stress the bounty hunter a little bit. This, I gotta go for this is... We haven't encountered any size 2 enemies, so I'm not gonna go for planned takedown, but I will go for this is how we do it. And... let me see. Our stress levels aren't high enough to warrant revel. I'm actually just gonna pep talk the occultist. I know pep talk isn't the best ability, but it's at least somewhat useful. Yeah, let's combine that with scout ahead. Increased scouting chance is always helpful.
The match is struck.
It might allow us to actually...
A blazing star is born.
It might allow us to actually disarm some of the traps rather than just stepping on them. And more throbbing cocoons. And we have the team composition for this. Okay, this one's going to be a lot harder. However, I have access to Iron Swan, and if it bleeds, critical will be immensely helpful, but the bleed may be enough. Alright, Demon's Pull. And there we go! Alright. It all comes down to the team composition. Some team compositions will have a lot of difficulty dealing with this, others will have relatively little. Okay, so the only thing the molars don't boost is damage versus blighted. Okay, he has a better chance of killing a sycophant, but for once he can't one-shot something. I guess even the best occasionally have a bad day. Okay, Croc resisted the Crimson Curse. And yeah, the problem with the Thirst is they keep healing themselves. And they buff themselves the first time they use it. Alright. More poison darts should finish the job. Alright, that's the end of the Supplicant. That's the end of the Sycophant. Now we just need the underfed Sycophant. And there it goes. Cardin, I guess, decided he had to reclaim his honor after failing to kill the other one.
This expedition at least promises success.
Alright, I have 2 more invitations. Now, I mean, at the moment, if you notice the stress levels at the Hamlet, the team that I sent, the only team that's equipped to take on the Viscount is busy crying and hugging their knees right now, so it's going to be a while before we can send anybody anyway, but it is good to have some invitations. Okay. Loot. I'll drop the other holy water for the fortress. I do want to collect the journal pages because you get more loot once you've collected all the journal pages, but but at the same time I also want to actually collect valuables. But we're almost out of this. That means progress towards another boss and some experience for the inexperienced crew.
Must be carried home.
There we go. Okay, what's the scouting tell me about? However, this room has treasure in it, so we're gonna keep going. Okay, let Croc disarm the trap. She's the one who knows how to handle these kinds of things. And the grand prize, a 3rd invitation, and yes, I'm going for it. Okay, only 3 enemies this time. Perfect. And a perfect open. Demon's Pull to get good and close. Okay, he resisted it. Add poison dart damage on top of the Demon's Pull damage. Okay, somebody needs to cause 1 point of damage to it. Unfortunately, and I think the bounty hunter will actually be able to do that. Yeah, he can hit it with Caltrops. There we go. He may have resisted bleeding, but the blight will finish. Okay, that's our 3rd invitation from the Viscount. Viscount really wants to make us work for our invitations. Alright, collect bounty. Yeah, let's just go for it. 20% protection isn't enough to quibble over. However, for you, poison darts, you get to go out the slow way. Very much foreseen, but unforgiving. Okay.
Ghoulish horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud.
Also, we've had a net gain of blood this week with this mission. I brought 6 vials. I did have to use one, but I've found 3, having used up 1. Okay, and our first taste of the cultists. It's a good thing I brought a bounty hunter. Someone who specializes in taking out human enemies. Okay, that's not enough to take out the drummer, but it might... Combined with poison dart, it might be. And it is. 9 to 17. It's a bit of a risk, but he might get the kill.
Precision and power.
There is no might get the kill with Carden. He just gets the kill. Alright. Vulnerability next to guarantee a one-shot on the next one. And now we let them finally have a turn. Well, we let those of them who are alive finally have a turn. May as well hit this one with vulnerability X. It didn't do anything anyway. Okay, throw a dagger. It's a good start. Collect bounty. Yep, and collect bounty is a guaranteed one-shot. Yeah, the Crime Lord's molars are incredibly powerful because the thing is, the plus 20% damage versus Mark stacks with collect bounty's already high damage boost versus Mark. So you can do things like that. I'm really looking forward to finding out what the other half of his combo set does.
Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying
No reason to
fall.
hold on to supply items because we're about to leave, so I may as well trade them for loot. The Fortunate Arrow, plus 8 accuracy and plus 3% critical rate for a leper. That is amazing. That was well worth that extra fight. Not even counting the invitations.
Seem a little less impossible.
Achievement on what strange bedfellows. I wonder what that does. I wonder what that achievement is. I'll have to check that out later. And somebody is level 3 now. Ah, shit. Carden has a torn rotator. I'm gonna need to fix that. Croc is soft. Okay, and sort of all as a hatred of
In
mankind.
time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
They made a tonic. By accident, an enterprising charlatan brewed an actual potent draft made from dust harvested from the comet. It can work wonders for a price. You know, that's actually worth it. With the number of lingering diseases I have in this team, that's actually worth it. I'm buying it. Just get rid of all of the diseases in one go. Okay, okay, so Clarinel can only be cloistered. And she doesn't have the Crimson Curse. Gale can do anything, so let's put him here. Dismas, who also doesn't have... Wait a minute. What? I can't... Yeah, it took me a second to notice that. Cures 1 disease from everyone on the roster. I didn't realize that included the Crimson Curse. Wow, that's even more worth it than I thought it was. I was actually thinking, like... I actually wondered for a second to myself as I was clicking, will this cure the Crimson Curse? But I was thinking, no, there's no way they would do that. But, wow. Wow. That's amazing. Dismas is still not available for stress treatment in any... I guess the one thing he's allowed is already occupied. What? The Crimson Curse is gone now from our entire team. From our entire roster. That's amazing. Also, I'm going to pop over to the survivalist and upgrade the, that would cost a lot. Do I want to do that, or do I want to hold off to get, the last furnace upgrade at the blacksmith? I think I want to hold off. I'm focusing a lot on the guild and the blacksmith, but, well, there's a reason for that. But we're already broke again just from treating the stress from the mission before last. And not only that, but we haven't even treated all of the stress, so I'm going to need to embark on another mission. That said, this team is actually all in a condition where they can go again. On the other hand, they're not the team I would send to kill the unstable flesh. Oh, right, I can't send the whole team. Alright. This is only a short mission, but let's see. I don't have a, I can't bring you. I'll trade the, Grave Robber for a Houndmaster. A Houndmaster in position 3 with Cry Havoc and Hound's Rush is actually quite powerful in this team. The question is, what mission do I go for? I already have a Fortunate Armlet, but getting it... We're very close to unlocking another boss in the Cove. Getting a Gentle Tide right before a boss fight could be extremely helpful, so I'm going to go for this mission. Alright, and the Houndmaster is the only one who needs equipment. And... let's go with the Evidence of Corruption, and then the Steady Bracer, because the Hound is classified as ranged, and everybody else is equipped the way I want them. Alright, team. You already pulled off one mission very well. Let's see if you can handle another. I do need to fix the Bounty Hunter's Torn Rotator, but we can't afford it. Alright. Bring a decent amount of food. I want to be slightly more generous with food because we're less likely to be able to scavenge it. But I don't need anywhere near as much anti-venom or bandages. A couple of medicinal herbs in case of fish carcasses. A couple of keys. 2 keys will have to be enough. And plenty of torches. Trade away some of the bandages for more torches, and that will have to suffice. Okay, everyone. Our hopes, dreams, and finances go with you. Try not to be blown up by a thrall.
The flopping fish-like things abhor the warding sigils. Let us claim this place anew.
It'd be real nice if we could skip one of these 2 branches, but I'm pretty sure we won't be able to. And we already have a journal page, and it's another part of the story of the man who became a fish.
Cruel machinations spring to life with a singular purpose.
You know, I'm fairly certain the creature with the tentacles is not a machination. I mean, it is cruel, but it seems very much alive to me. And fish. See, these are also not cruel machinations. Vulnerability X to guarantee a one-shot against the first grouper. 50% bleed resistance versus 120% base bleed chance. Let's go with that. Fishing. That's not really a big deal, because even if it successfully pulls... Okay, Hound's Rush could one-shot. It fails to, however. Alright. Collect bounty. Let's just go for the same one. I really shouldn't have used Hound's Rush on that one. I got a little greedy.
Gently. This is how a life is taken.
And Cardin is suddenly having a bit of a bad day. Alright, target whistle on the grouper. Because the Occultist is going to need to spend his turn using weird reconstruction. Do you just not like the Bounty Hunter or something? Did he do something to piss you off? Is that why you keep rolling like 2s and 0s when you try to heal him? Because I won't have your personal feud interfering with the mission, sort of.
Eradicated. As victories mount, so too will resistance.
Okay, Brackish Tide Pool. Perfect. Anti-venom, and we get healing. Oh, stress healing. I was hoping for health healing. I mean, stress healing is welcome. The stress level is already a little high. And we found our first protective ward. But, you know, with his health being at 9 out of 30, I was hoping for some health healing. Then again, this game... I should really be paying attention to what this game teaches you about hope. And we already have our second protective ward. Wow. And another invitation. And again, I have an even better team to take on the gatekeepers than I had last time. This is actually, I'd say, one of the best possible team compositions. And we couldn't even go 1 week without someone getting the Crimson Curse. We cure everyone of the Crimson Curse, and the same week somebody manages to get it again. But this is one of the best possible team compositions to have to kill the gatekeepers quickly before they can escape. Okay, thank you, Sword of All. That is the kind of number I want to be seeing. Alright, target whistle on the Sycophant. It won't reduce its dodge, but it guarantees a one-shot from the Collect Bounty.
Destroy.
And apparently Cardon didn't need the help. And now 2 people have the Crimson Curse. And for a little bit of added pain, I didn't bring any of the blood because when I began this mission, no one had it. Alright, Hound's Rush did finish the job on the
Formation is
Sycophant.
broken.
Okay, that leaves just the
Maintain
Supplicant.
the offensive.
Alright, sticking with Weird Reconstruction for now. And Collect Bounty will not kill. I can 2-shot it. Any other damaging ability will finish the job. Since he doesn't use, I don't believe the Supplicants can use the Thirst, so they can't heal themselves. But any other solid hit will finish this thing off. Like that, for
Confidence
example.
surges as the enemy crumbles.
Also, wait a second. Collect Bounty and Wicked Hack do the same...
Remind yourself
Wait,
that overconfidence
there are other
is a
factors
slow
there, but it
and
was-
insidious killer.
It was looking... Wait. Base damage 100 and... Yeah, Collect Bounty and Wicked Hack have the same base damage. That surprises me a little bit since Collect Bounty has an extra effect and Wicked Hack doesn't. But they also have the same range limit. In fact, Collect Bounty is also more generous in terms of positioning because you can be in position 3 and still use it. It is kind of interesting. I suppose it makes sense. Some abilities are just stronger than others,
Waiting to
but...
be spent.
I hadn't thought about that, but Collect Bounty is literally just better than Wicked Hack. Of course, since heroes have no abilities in common, it really, it doesn't matter a whole lot. Okay. Hit the lights. Let's see if I can get rid of the Acolyte in one. That would require a high damage roll and bleed. It's gonna take 2. Okay, but I can get rid of the Brawler in one. While we're at it, let's go with Weakening Curse on the Guardian to get rid of that beefy Protect stat. And goodbye, Mr. Brawler. Congratulations, you did nothing. Okay, looks like it's going to take more than 2 rounds for the Acolyte to die. They're really determined to keep her around. Alright, target whistle this time on the Guardian. He already has a Protect debuff. Let's add another one. I mean, the Acolyte will bleed out eventually, assuming the Shaman doesn't use Sea Breeze. Let's combine that with another Weakening Curse to reduce the protection even further. And he's marked 12 to 23. Still will not one-shot without a critical. And this time we don't get a critical. Right, Iron Swan. Honestly, it would have been hard to one-shot with a critical with those numbers.
Hope blossoms.
Ow. And bleeding, too. For 5 rounds. Well, Adrenaline Rush will fix the bleeding. Adrenaline Rush? I believe I just called that ability Adrenaline Rush. And we get a 0. At least we don't get 0 and bleeding. We just get 0. Okay, and now use Hound's Rush. Okay, Hound's Rush also didn't kill. But just keep wailing on him for long enough and eventually he goes down.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
Okay, I'm actually not going to bother with the agility whistle. It isn't a very good item. Okay, what can I interact with the figurehead? Torch has no effect. I can't imagine that herbs would, but let's find out anyway. Maybe there is none. Okay, no scouting. I'm gonna go for the short path first, just on the off chance
another
that...
mariner, another misfortune.
It contains the last quest location. I mean... I would expect it to be the long path, but I would also feel like an idiot if I made it to the end of the long path only to discover that it was actually in the short path. Okay, I'll drop the last anti-venom for the Onyx. You know, that hunger would have been real helpful a couple seconds ago, guys. Like, we could have just had a snack before we picked up the loot, and then we would have had room for the extra loot. And groupers. A group of them, naturally. Can Iron Swan one-shot? Yes, it can. It has about a 50% chance of doing so.
Continue
nice.
the onslaught. Destroy them all.
The thing about groupers is they're just all about damage, basically. Target whistle on the gamble and the bounty hunter does not act before grouper number 1. Okay, weird reconstruction. Yeah, between the debuff that I think he's... Okay, no, the debuff is worn off, but his speed is real low. Part of it is he has low natural speed, and part of it is the legendary bracer, but mostly he just has low natural speed. Ow. Okay, we're gonna need, Hound's Rush might kill. It does. We're gonna need to make camp after this just to get some healing. Of course, as you all know, I won't mind the extra inventory space. Okay, if it bleeds, might kill, but like as before, I need a high damage roll and bleed. I got a high damage roll, and I got bleed. Okay, collect bounty isn't gonna one-shot, but it'll at least get us close. And Hound's Rush for the win. There we go. And even better, the Occultist gets one last turn before the enemy finishes dying. And let's see if I can finish him off with Come Hither. I cannot. Okay.
The slow death. Unforeseen.
That's that.
Unforgiving.
And let's make camps so that I have room for the Jade. Feast.
Circle in the dark. The battle may yet be won.
Hound's Watch to guarantee no nighttime ambush. Alright. I have enough time units to use Therapy Dog and Encourage on the Occultist. And... You know, the one weakness Cardin has had in this mission is that he tends to miss things. So let's do This Is How We Do It to get an accuracy boost. And... rest. No midnight surprises.
A blazing
no scouting
star
either.
is born.
Which means that the objective could be anywhere along here. And more invitations. Okay, Iron Swan has only a very small chance to one-shot, but unlike last time, I have a Hound Master. Okay, collect bounty. Also, very small chance to one-shot, but a high chance to two-shot. But Hound's Rush could finish off the Madman. And Weakening Curse might kill the grouper. Let's find out. Nope, nope, disappointment. Okay. Disappointment and Stress Wave. And that's probably the last time the Occultist is going to get a chance to attack this fight. He's going to have to spend the rest of the time, like, rapidly stitching the rest of the team back together as they're being torn apart. Okay. Let's choose Hound's Rush to get rid of that grouper. vulnerability hex on this grouper. Yep, I'm risking skipping the healing since everyone's above 50%. Because this pretty much guarantees a one-shot against this grouper, leaving only the shaman. And now there is no shaman.
Success
Okay.
so clearly in view.
Okay, I'm actually going to go
Or is
after
it
this for
merely
2
a
reasons.
Trick of the light.
One is because having another invitation will be helpful, but the main reason is there's a chance that they drop the blood, and while my cursed teammates are passive for now, they're not going to stay that way. Alright, starting with Iron Swan. And we've already solved the main problem. Going for a dog treat just to, just partially to get them off the books. Okay, it's going to use the thirst. It didn't use the thirst. That was unexpected. Alright. Vulnerability hex should be enough. Yeah, it has high prot but low health, so the mark should be enough to allow a one-shot for Collect Bounty, even if the debuff didn't stick. Now I just need to hit, and since it has dodge of 0, the debuff was meaningless anyway. Collect Bounty. Okay, not a guaranteed one-shot, but very light. That was the only damage number you could have rolled that would not have resulted in a one-shot. Nice job. I suppose everybody has to disappoint me occasionally. And you've been... Let's give this guy some credit. He didn't get the kill, but he has been performing very effectively so far. I should have known that wouldn't kill. I really should have known. Okay, and now it's going for the thirst, and it's succeeding at it. Okay, things are starting to go a little south. All right, get rid of the Sycophant. Get rid of this Sycophant. Montgomery finally getting the critical we all desperately need. Alright, and Cardin, finish the job. Still no blood.
This
Okay, I'm gonna
expedition
drop
at
the
least
other dog
promises
tree
success.
for the crest. Okay, still no objective either. This is where things could start to go wrong. I'm not touching that cocoon. The number of invitations we have now is plenty. I'm not bothering with any more. Okay, that's not good. Okay, Hound's Rush to finish, or Target Whistle to... It doesn't make much of a difference because I have a guaranteed one-shot, a guaranteed kill against one, and a guaranteed not kill against another. So I may as well go for Hound's Rush. Weird Reconstruction on the person with the fewest hit points. And Collect Bounty, again, has a very small chance to kill. Or a critical! I always discount the possibility of criticals, and then they end up happening. Okay, Wicked Hack. And there we go. Wait a second. I must be well, no, it's... I was gonna say I must be wrong about Wicked Hack.
Low and driven into the mud.
I was going to say I must be wrong about my Wicked Hack versus Collect Bounty comparison, but no. Wicked Hack does more damage, but that's because the Hellion has a higher base damage, I think. Okay. And nothing but disappointment. Not only do we not have a quest location, we also have to deal with Crimson Court enemies. Alright, let's get rid of the Supplicant fast. Like that, yes. That is good. Alright, let's see if we can also get rid of the Sycophant. Okay, it's 1 hit point away. I need you to hit, Ver. And you do not fail me. Perfect. Okay, there. Half of them are gone already. You can do this. Pre-digestion. Okay, fortunately, you inflicted blight on the person with the ability to cure their own status effects. Unfortunately, Sword of All is having a bit of an off day. And now yet another hero has the Crimson Curse. Alright, Target Whistle on this Supplicant. The Sycophant is just going to be allowed to live for a little while longer yet. Alright, Adrenaline rush. Get the 2 hit points back that they took from you and get rid of the blight. Okay. All that's left is the sycophant. Not that that isn't enough. Stick with weird reconstruction. It averages out to do pretty good healing. It just fails occasionally. And there we go.
Seize this momentum. Push
And
on to
loot
the
I don't have
task's
inventory
end.
space for. Okay, so it is somewhere down this way. And we're going to find out exactly how far. Use the medicinal herbs on the fish carcass. Always dropping the bandages for the rubies. They're that valuable. Okay, the Houndmaster is craving, but I'm going to save the blood... He's probably the one who gets the blood vial. But I'm going to save the blood vial for when we're actually in combat, so when I knock him into Bloodlust, I can actually take advantage of it. Bloodlust has a tendency to create problems, but at least it ups the damage output. For the hero like the Houndmaster, that's actually very helpful. So the issue is we're running low on food, torches, and shovels, all of which we might need later. Hopefully the last sigil isn't too far in this direction. Okay, and that's the last shovel. Okay. And an empty room. I was worried there'd be something bad. Of course, now we have a hallway battle followed by a room battle, and it's a group of Urs. Okay, light a torch. Can Iron Swan kill? Yes, it can. Can, but not will. Can collect bounty, kill, small chance to yes. Alright. Vulnerability hex to set up for next turn. Guarantee that that grouper dies next turn. And the blood and Hound's rush to guarantee that this grouper dies right now.
Grievous injury. Palpable fear.
Okay, that's what I was going to tell you to do anyway, so I'm not complaining that you did it without asking first. Alright, weird reconstruction. And now we have to deal with one last spearfishing to remember you. And another critical!
Blurred vision. The
Live by...
approaches.
Well, considering all the criticals I've gotten in these last 2 missions, I guess it's live by the criticals, die by the criticals.
A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
You know, I will say we've gotten pretty respectable loot for this being a novice level mission. Or I guess apprentice is the actual term for it. Okay, same basic idea. We surprise them, eliminate as many as we can before they get a turn. Okay, that's immensely disappointing. But Hound's rush is okay, but can I one-shot if I hit him with vulnerability hex? Possibly. Debuff doesn't matter, but the mark, still no. His protection is just that high. I can still only two-shot, even when he's marked. In hindsight, I really should have gone for weird reconstruction. Fortunately, the AI in this area is not smart enough to focus their attacks. That's not an issue with the programming, because the enemies in the Darkest Dungeon are smart enough to focus on a single character. This is the developers actually going easy on you just a little bit early on. Not even exploit the mark any further. Just go with regular old Wicked Hack to get rid of that. Okay. Okay, we're in that situation where if anybody takes significant damage, we're in trouble. Okay, finally have a bandage and use it. Okay, again, collect bounty could kill, but the odds are low. You know, it's a pretty big difference between whether you can one-shot an enemy or you can two-shot them. That can be the difference between living and not living in a fight. Wicked Hack could one-shot, but it won't. Because the odds have just kind of finally caught up to me. I keep getting these ridiculous high rolls, and now I'm finally getting some rolls. Now I'm finally seeing the other half of the bell curve.
Be wary.
The 100 gold can
Triumphant pride
stay.
precipitates a dizzying fall.
Okay, and with the exception of the citrine that isn't really worth bothering with, we can even carry everything. Okay, that isn't a quest location. So we're still a significant distance away from the objective. And these guys now. Okay, can Iron Swan one-shot? Yes. Thank you, Montgomery. You're my favorite. Thank you, Carden. You are also my favorite. I know favorite might sound mutually exclusive, but you're actually wrong. And Ver, you too are my favorite.
Death by inches.
3 one-shots in the opening round. That is exactly the kind of numbers we needed to be putting on the board. Okay. We're almost out of this. And Wicked Hack for the win.
Power.
Default party order. I don't have any more anti-venom. So I can't take advantage of the brackish pool. Also running out of light.
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
And the last quest location is in the farthest room. And we're out of shovels. Which means we have to take damage and stress to get past that last obstacle. Okay, this ain't good.
Without tools of iron, you must rely on
And
flesh.
now,
An
Sword of All's
indefatigable
Resolve is
purpose.
tested. And he's paranoid because the luck that I've been having in this mission does not permit someone to come out virtuous. Okay, hunger. We at least still have the means to deal with hunger. That's one problem we can still solve. The other bit of good news is there aren't supposed to be any more enemies between us and the objective.
A handsome reward for a task well performed.
Why was there anti-venom in the torch thing? Like, of all the things we found there, anti-venom, I think, is actually the strangest.
Injury and despondence.
I mean, it's
set
like...
the stage for heroism.
I mean,
or cowardice.
it's like you're in your home and you're changing a light bulb and you take out the old light bulb and like a thing of triple antibiotic falls out on your head. It's just weird. Okay, we got someone craving, but that's fine because we've reached the objective. And there's a fight here because I forgot quest locations can have unlabeled fights. Alright guys, I know this situation looks bad,
Consumes the mind.
but we have to get through this. Alright, if it bleeds on the crazy guy, that gets rid of him. Alright, stick with weird reconstruction. Just keep healing. You're gonna have to heal through all of this. Okay, can collect bounty kill? Yes it can, but it won't. And now Ver's resolve is tested, and he's irrational. Okay, that's 2 afflictions. Fortunately, the other 2 are not going to become afflicted during this
Taken
fight.
over the edge into madness.
I'm going for Hound's Rush. Removing an enemy from the fight is a big deal. And that may be the last time we get to do that for a little while. Okay. Target Whistle will reduce the obscenely high protection the Guardian has to more reasonable levels. Collect Bounty will not one-shot without a critical, but there is always that 13% chance. We don't like you either. If it bleeds, 4 to 8 for if it bleeds versus 6 to 13 for Wicked Hack. Neither will kill without a critical, so let's go for if it bleeds for bleeding damage. Weird reconstruction on the guy who's about to keel over. Get him away from death's door. Okay, and it's our old friend Spearfisher. He is bleeding for 3 per turn and is 4 hit points away from death, because of course he is. Alright, stick with weird reconstruction. Just keep healing. Just heal through all of this. That's what you need to do. Alright, and one more Hound's Rush, and we're rid of the, we're down to just the group. And our first mortality debuff. We've actually managed to make it through...
Or expire.
We've actually managed to make it through this whole mission up to now with no one at death's door. But on the final attack that any enemy will get in this mission, they finally knock someone onto death's door. And the Heartburst Hood is flagellant only. It isn't very good, but I am going to hold on to it because I can afford to drop the supply items. Let's get the Occultist off of death's door with the food, and then let's drop the antivenom and the medicinal herbs. And use the last of the pineal gland. Okay, let's get out of here. Let's just escape. But we completed the mission. We got a backup Fortunate Armlet, even though we already found one in the previous mission. Got a decent amount of cash. 8,500 ain't bad. Plus the 4,500 for completing the mission at all. And a decent amount of progress towards upgrading towards our next structure upgrade, thanks to heirlooms. Okay.
The frothing waters subside. The advantage is ours.
Okay, and yeah, we got rid of the Crimson Curse for a little while, and we already have the Crimson Curse back. Because of course we do. Okay, the only way Ver can be de-stressed is by being cloistered. So let's transept Sword of All. And then Dismas does not have access to anything. He's still gonna have to just wait. Okay. And let's spend a little gold. Let's spend a little gold on some camping skills. Let's see, Gale already has Reflection. And I'm going to get him Encourage. Frossart learns Sanctuary. And that's really all I can afford to spend for now. However... that was not enough progress to unlock the next Cove boss. Which means I can't benefit from the Gentle Tide. Well, I can't use the Gentle Tide for a boss fight, that is. So... let's see. I still can benefit from the, Gentle Tide, but I'm not entirely sure I want to just for a regular mission. Honestly, if I can't go after the next boss in the Cove, I want to go after the Flesh. So, the question is, with whom? And the answer is a team that definitely includes a Jester because of the severe weakness to bleeding that the Flesh has. I also definitely want a Leper. Question is who else? Let's say a Leper and Montgomery, the Hellion. And that just leaves the question of who will do the healing. And the answer is, no one, apparently, because we don't have anyone of the right resolve level who can heal. That can't be right. Oh, yeah, I actually don't have anyone with healing abilities who's the right resolve level. I don't even have anyone who's resolve level 2 who I could potentially bring. Nor do I really have anyone who could potentially be slotted into this team to kind of fill out the roster to allow them... I can't take on the Flesh. I wanted to take on the Flesh, but I do not have the heroes that I would need in order to be able to put together a viable team composition to take it on. Instead, let's do another medium length mission and unlock Silence in the Crypts. Let's bring a bounty hunter, a Vestel, a plague doctor, and actually let's bench the bounty hunter in favor of a man-at-arms and a flagellant. That should be good. Yeah, I need to level some people up. That's the hard thing about medium-level bosses. For low-level bosses, you can just recruit new people who are of the classes that you need and train them up a little bit. And for high-level bosses, you can just you can't be too high level to take them on. But for medium-level bosses, leveling up your heroes a little bit too much can actually mess you up a lot. Okay, I'm going to go for the Sacred Scroll. And, let's go with a Dodge Stone. For the, Plague Doctor, definitely getting the Blasphemous Vial, and because of the plus 25% stress, I'll add a Worry Stone to that. For Fontamai the Flagellant, I'll go with the same thing I always go with, Eternity's Collar and Resurrection's Collar. Okay, and I still don't have any equipment specific to the Man-at-Arms, so what do I have that boosts protection? A Protection Stone. And let's also add a Health Stone. Just general boosts to tankiness. Okay, let's go activate some Corrupted Altars and get some experience. I don't need to bring any of the blood because nobody is, a little antivenom, a little bandages, a little medicinal herbs, plenty of keys, decent amount of holy water, as always, shovels, torches, and food. And yeah, I will unlock a boss after I complete this mission, and I might be able to use Silence in the Crypts for that boss, but then again, whichever boss that is, I don't have a main healer who is mid-level. So I need to train up a Vestel or two before I can actually take on any mid-level bosses. Okay, activate 3 Corrupted Altars, and we already have a quest location right in front of us. Okay, I believe holy water is the solution here. Yep, dissolves the ashes, revealing valuables.
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Okay. Ow. Tried to disarm
Mechanical
the trap.
hazards possessed by evil intent.
Okay, not bothering with the cocoon with this team, especially considering the fact that we have plenty of, and we already have our first quest location. Well, as a flagellant isn't exactly the best hero to bring to this mission. But then again, when I'm trying to juggle missions at 3 different difficulty levels, I don't really have a lot of options in regards to who I bring. Okay, they did not resist the debuff, and I can gradually deplete their bleed resistance until I can actually make them bleed. Also, unlike Plague Grenade, Reign of Sorrows actually does pretty good direct damage. Crush, which, yeah, isn't going to kill, but... And the Vestel is already about to have an affliction. This is the first fight, and she's already about to be afflicted. Alright, I'm going to go with Reclaim because her health is getting a little low. And for her, I'll choose Divine Comfort. And again, I have Incision, but I really did not kit this team out properly for being in the ruins. I have Incision, but not Noxious Blast.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Okay, yeah, the Corchers will die on their own in a moment. Wait, regeneration can get criticals? That's awesome!
Great is the weapon.
I'm really
that
glad
cuts on
damage
its
over
own.
time can't get criticals, though. And punish.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Alright. Concentrated Essence, purify the thing. And this Plague Doctor doesn't even know Noxious Blast. We're woefully underprepared for this mission.
Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage.
Okay, what was that buff? Plus 20% damage for the Vestal. Yes, extremely helpful.
Mind
main
that
healer
such
inflicting more
missteps are the
damage.
exception, and not the rule.
Then again, I shouldn't exactly be complaining about bad luck, considering how bad my preparation was. Let's see if we can survive this. Fortunately, there are some enemies that do actually bleed now. And Plague Grenade should be pretty effective on the guys in the back. Start with Divine Grace and the Flagellant. Especially since he isn't very good at healing himself. Crush, again, not a one-shot, but a comfortable two-shot. And one more Plague Grenade should take care of both the Acolyte and the guy with the crossbow. One more punish should take care of the brawler.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
Divine Grace. I meant Divine Comfort, but I'll take it.
Sedated.
Crush. And why not just use Incision? It will do nothing.
Slowly. Gently. This is how a life is
Reclaim
taken.
on the Plague Doctor this time. And there we
Death
go.
by inches.
Okay. I have no idea what to do with the sarcophagus, and I don't want to risk it. There probably isn't a quest location down here, but I can't really risk missing one if there is. Okay, this situation is really bad. We're starting the fight severely shuffled, with the main healer being, with really high stress. Okay, that's better. Fortunately, these enemies don't feel so great with Blight. They're actually more vulnerable to bleeding, but Blight works pretty well. And another case of the curse already. You know, I feel like the Flagellant probably wouldn't mind if you gather his blood. Okay, and I can at least rampart the Man-at-Arms back into position. Also, the enemies constantly shuffling themselves is going to distribute the blight damage pretty effectively across a wide area. Let's add some bleeding damage to that. And throw a Plague
Well
Grenade.
struck.
And Crush to guarantee the Sycophant dies.
Press this advantage.
Okay, we're down to just
Give them
one
no
Supplicant.
quarter.
Now, one Supplicant is still a serious problem, but it's less bad than it was a minute ago. Now let's use Emboldening Vapors. And Punish. Only bleeding for 4, so we need to hit him one more
Confidence
time.
surges as the enemy crumbles.
That'll do. Okay.
Seize this momentum. push on to the task's end.
Shout the medicinal herbs for the blood, and otherwise keep things the way they are. Yeah, the Crimson and now I immediately have an interaction for medicinal herbs. It's like the game knew I was going to drop them. Okay, got 2 more quest locations to find, and that's going to take a bit of a while. And hunger, but that at least clears up some inventory space, which is always at a premium. Okay, due almost entirely to my own bad decisions, this mission has started to go a bit wrong. Some scouting to soothe the pain would be a little helpful. Okay, more hunger. Another... It's mocking me. I know at this point the game is just mocking me. You dropped your medicinal herbs. I bet you wish you hadn't done that. And a quest location. Okay, that's 2. Without scouting, I can't know if there is one down here, so I'm just gonna investigate. I'm just going to investigate. And I'm going to investigate it justly. Ow. And Plague Grenade on the Acolyte. Plague Doctor can't do much, but they can do a little. Dazzling Light on the Acolyte. Okay, that takes care of the Acolyte and one of the Brawlers. See if we can dazzle the other Brawler and see if we can end this fight without the enemy getting attacked again.
The path
nope,
is
we
clear.
can't.
We require only the strength to follow it.
May as well Rampart it to decrease the chance of having to do another action. And punch. And
as the
incision.
fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
I believe we call that a surgical strike.
Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
Yeah, don't I know it. Okay, no quest location yet, but treasure is also worth going for. And these guys! They're so weak, it's almost kind of cute. Okay, Crush will get rid of one, especially if it does that. Okay, that just leaves the one last Bone Rabble that isn't about to die. Okay, can punish one shot, not without a critical. And the 4% critical chance doesn't look so pretty. But Judgment can. Well, Judgment can finish the job anyway.
The blood pumps. The limbs obey.
And Incision. Cutting an incision into
Success
a skeleton
so
just seems
and beautiful.
really difficult. Like, that
Or is
require
it
a lot of
merely
strength.
a trick of the light.
Plague Grenade is actually pretty good for this situation. Punish can't one-shot, but combined with Crush, we should be able to get rid of this guy. So let's Dazzle the Defender to prevent him from using Bone Bulwark. The extra light is also going to be useful. But we're running low on Torch. And Stressful Incantation is not helping the Torch situation. Okay, and our first resolve test of the mission. Let's see what we get. Stalwart!
Many fall in the face of chaos, but not this one. Not today.
Boisset, you are going to go far in this industry. Okay, the Acolyte's basically done. Now we just need to deal with the Defendant. Start with Judgment. Won't do much, but it will do something. And Punish, same deal. Rampart has a 45% chance to stun. Let's see if we can make that happen. Nope. I kind of wish it had gone for Bone Bulwark this time. Okay. And he's craving. Well, go for some Bloodlust. Trade Craving for Bloodlust, because the Man-at-Arms is our main damage dealer, because this is just an awful team composition.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Drop the Anti-Venom for the Sapphire, because it's pretty unlikely that we'll encounter... Yeah, I'm just walking past that satchel. Because I'm pretty sure we're going to be coming back the other way.
Ambushed by foul invention.
I mean, I might be wrong. I am not wrong. We are going to be coming back this way because this entire excursion was pointless. Well, that's not entirely true. We found some loot, and loot is always valuable. Better than a trap, I'll give you that. Alright. And now we explore the lower half of this mission, and a trap spawned in behind us because of science.
Curious is the trap maker's art. His efficacy unwitnessed by his own eyes.
Okay. And finish the backtracking. And you know what? You guys are all in a bit of a state. It's time to make camp.
A moment of respite. A chance to steel oneself against the coming horrors.
Alright. Sanctuary to prevent nighttime ambush. Encourage on the Vestel, because she's the main one whose stress I actually want to maintain. And encourage on the Plague Doctor. And also chant on the Man-at-Arms. Okay. The stress levels are good, the health levels are good, we have someone who's come out virtuous. And these enemies aren't particularly dangerous. Things are looking up, which means something is about to go horribly wrong. The only question is what specifically is going to go horribly wrong.
Executed with impunity.
Now that is a proper flanking. Okay, Punish won't kill, but I can combine it with something. Like Incision. Yes, I did attempt to take on the crypt with a team built around inflicting bleeding damage. That was not one of my better ideas. But we're getting away with
it. Ghoulish horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud. Wealth beyond measure. Awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
I think those of you who have been watching for any length of time definitely know which of those groups I fall into. Alright. There isn't much dungeon left, so it has...
of unconscionable alienage.
Okay, I just want to take a minute to look at this. We managed to run into the thing from the stars. The quest location is here. We're literally, this is like 2 tiles away from the quest location. And we ran into the thing from the stars. Paralyzing shard, at least it did a little damage. Okay, Rampart. I'm just gonna go for all the stuns I can get my hands on. Partially because if it's stunned, it can't use its ability that prevents, that removes damage over time effect, and this is a very damage over time dependent team. Fortunately, its bleed resistance is very low. sticking with bleed because of its low bleed resistance. And I can still reach it with punish. Transfixing shot.
Exposed
A critical
to a
for
killing
1
blow.
damage. Awash in crimson. Okay, crush. And thanks to
Another one
bloodlust,
falls.
crush will kill. Okay, and since it used paralyzing shard, that means it has to live with taking another point of damage. Okay, I'm gonna go for a stun again. Keep it stunned so that I'm gonna try to keep it stunned as much as I can so that it's actually forced to take the damage over time. In addition to reducing its own health with creating these shards. Stun resistance is still only 85.
The match
But it
is
resisted.
struck. A blazing star is born.
Oh, so one of the effects of bloodlust is that you can reduce your own stress.
Another
That's
abomination cleansed from our lands.
interesting. Okay. And now it's going for phase. Ow!
Death waits
Ow.
for the slightest lapse
Sky
in
taint.
concentration.
That's new. Also, we don't have any anti-venom. Okay, that was rough. Turn to the stars. Fortunately, its health is already low. Yeah, I don't have anything that I can do to heal him. Okay, stick with punish. The damage over time is accumulating. With 10% bleed resistance, it managed to resist that.
Teetering on the brink, facing the abyss.
And the Plague Doctor, despite being a doctor, the Plague Doctor has no healing abilities. Okay. Unfortunately, fortune appears to have turned against me. Going for Divine Comfort, not Divine Grace, because we'll still get the Vestal off Death's Door. But I need to get some amount of healing onto the Crush is still guaranteed to destroy the aberration. 28 damage. That's 6 more aberrations. 5 more aberrations. But every tick of bleeding damage decreases the number of aberrations we have to deal with. Alright, we're almost rid of this thing. Sticking with Divine Comfort, still getting pretty good healing numbers.
Can be healed,
Unfortunately,
but never hidden.
since the Man-at-Arms is stunned, I'm gonna have to hit the Flagellant hit the Crystalline Aberration. He also is guaranteed to be able to destroy it. Okay, again going for Return to the Stars. Again damaging itself a little bit.
As life ebbs, terrible vistas of emptiness reveal themselves.
Now go for Exsanguinate. 6 damage of bleed, 6 points of bleeding damage. Alright, that reduces the number of aberrations we have to endure. Okay, one more tick of damage from any source and we're done with the thing from the stars. Crush. Power is purity. Okay, Divine Comfort. Critical Divine Comfort.
Sedated.
And it uses Return to the Stars. And that kills it. And Phantomai is rapturous because the Flagellant can't be anything
The mind
else.
cannot hope to withstand such an assault.
We got
These
it.
nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
We got it. We got a Sun Ring, 25 Comet Shards, and we reached the objective. Okay, well, we've completed the mission. I'm gonna go for the Decorative Urn because I have Holy Water for it. Okay. Drop the other Holy Water for the Jade. Okay, let's get out of here before
Beacons
things
in the
manage to get
darkness,
worse.
Stars in the emptiness of the void.
Wait, he has a different victory quote if you kill the thing from the stars. I never noticed that before. That's interesting. Okay, and we're still not ready to take on a mid-level boss with anyone. Prismatic stability plus 25% move resistance. I almost said moon resistance.
The shuffling dead are silenced. We have claimed dominion over the ruins once more.
Alright, silence in the crypts. I want to see something. Fontamai. What's it? Sky Tate. Plus 20% stress, minus 20% blight, and bleed resistance. Oh, Ver is still getting stress treatment, which means that I can't, I still can't treat Dismas. He just has to suck it up, apparently. And I also can't risk treating Fontamai for risk of contagion. Who can I stress treat? Sigmund. I can treat Sigmund because he also has the Crimson Curse. And I can treat... Okay, Mortimer can't receive treatment here. And I can also treat the Vestal, Blosset. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I don't have enough heirlooms to upgrade either anything in the guild or anything in the, I could get the final level of training regimen. I think I'll do that. Oh.
A strict regimen is paramount if one is to master the brutal arithmetic of combat.
That will at least reduce the cost of upgrades. Not that there's a... And, yeah, there's still plenty of upgrades we're going to need once we get the ability to, upgrade things to level 5. A quick scroll through. Yeah, Clarinel is just completely overpowered because she was a crystal mercenary. Because I got her I bought her in exchange for crystal shards. But all the high-level people pretty much are good. Suppose I could upgrade Stafford's Demon's Pull. But the mid-level people are a lot less so. But that's really all I can afford to spend, so we're broke again already. And that means we're going to need to staff another mission somehow. So the next boss is the Fulminating Prophet. And this ragtag bunch of misfits is what I could theoretically send after that boss. The issue with that is there is no one who is level 3 or 4 who would actually do well in position 4. Which means I can't actually fill out a team to go after any... I can't really properly fill out a mid-level mission at all. Because there's no one who does well in position 4 with the abilities that they have. The closest is Croc because she can use flashing... I don't know, she can use everything except Pick to the Face. So I could fill out a mission maybe, but I also don't have a main healer of this level, so I can't go into a boss fight. So, let's see. I could go back to the courtyard. I actually have a pretty good set of people to send for that. Can't bring Dismas, but I can bring Clarinel, Gale, Presticott, and Foliot. That's actually a pretty good team, so I think that's what I'll do. Is go after, spend one of my 6 invitations, because I'm trying to, in each episode, either take on a boss or progress with one of the DLC quests. So let's try the DLC. I spent plenty of time accumulating invitations. I may as well spend some. Alright, Equip all trinkets. Sort my character class. I should have done this before I started provisioning, but... Alright. Actually, I stick the Vestal again. Still, even though I have the Sacred Scroll, I'm still going with Junia's Head and a Worry Stone. For the Abomination, I'm actually going to go for the Lock of Fury and the Restraining Padlock. He's going to be transforming. And for the Crusader, the Signed Conscription and the Glittering Spaulders. Partially because the two of them together make him incredibly tanky. And Gale definitely gets the Fortunate Armlet. The +8 accuracy is extremely helpful. And I'm actually going to go with the Redemption Armlet instead of the Tin Flute. Now, once I have the other of the, for the Leper's set, so that I can get the set bonus of +15 accuracy if his HP is above 60%, then I'll equip the Flute, but it by itself isn't more valuable than the Redemption Armlet. Okay, as for abilities, I do have Sanctuary. I do have a number of different... And Zealous Vigil, which is, I think, better. I have a number of decent stress treatment abilities, and I have Reflection. I trade Pep Talk for Encourage, though. Okay. Bring some food, but not a lot. Some torches, but not a lot. Couple of shovels. Plenty of anti-venom and bandages. A little holy water and a handful of keys, but there isn't much use for keys. I think there's some use for medicinal herbs. And that's all the cash I'm prepared to risk on this mission because there's a small chance we come back empty-handed. So, looks like the Viscount has set the table. I guess we're going to have to partake. Let's do this. Let's see how far we make it. This area is already pretty big. Oh, right. We start off walking into a battle because I wussed out on that battle previously. And it's Chevaliers. Lovely. And me without a reliable way of damaging position 2. Beast's Bile does 4 for 3. Well, it's a start. Damaging position 3, rather.
Eradicated.
Fortunately, Gale does lots of damage to the front line. Alright, let's dazzle the Chevalier if we can.
Blow.
Smite will not kill. Stunning Blow will not stun. And Zealous Accusation will not clear the corpse. There's a lot you can't do, Presticott. Well, let's just go for damage. Apparently hitting is one of the things you can't do. Okay, opening up with Gather the Blood. Subterranean Skewer. At least it missed. Right, stick with Beast's Bile. It isn't going to do a lot, but it's gradual. It could theoretically have been gradually wearing down the Chevalier. But now I have an occasion to use Purge on an enemy that's actually in position 1. And it resisted the move. Damn. Still, clearing the corpse is going to make it easier to reach the Chevaliers with the real damage dealers. And Subterranean Skewer managed to hit something finally. Okay, Smite should be able to kill now. Of course, Smite first needs to be able to hit before it can kill. Manacles, actually. No, Manacles cannot get the kill. Instead, I'm going to stick with Beast's Bile on the Chevaliers. The more damage I can get them to take, the better. Ow. Q. Yeah, Chevaliers. Yeah, opening up with Chevaliers. This really is a trial by fire for this team.
Give them no quarter.
Divine Comfort.
The wounds
Fortunately, a
of war
maxed
can
out
be
Vestal
healed,
with a good healing trinket is pretty
but
helpful.
never hidden.
Okay, the Chevalier is not actually blighted for all of his remaining hit points, so let's use
As the
Q to get
fiend
rid of it.
falls, a faint hope blossoms.
And I'm actually going to go for Inspiring Cry. Critical Inspiring Cry. The main reason is because I want to use Purge to get rid of the corpses. Okay, he resisted the stun. Let's see if he resists this one. I mean, he does have pretty high stun resistance, but I've had pretty good luck stunning him. Part of that is because Clarinel is just incredible. What's funny is I believe I had a champion level Vestal named Clarinel in my previous playthrough, so I choose to imagine that she just came over here from that version of the Hamlet to help us out. Because you saw all the trouble that we're in. 110% stun resistance, 120% base stun chance. I'll take it. I mean, it'll also do damage. And for Gale, chop.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Tide rises and tide falls.
Foolish horrors, brought low and driven into the mud.
Okay, so there's only one way to go from here, and this is on the other side of the blue door, so... Okay, let's give the shrew a drop of the blood. And I receive the camouflage cloak, double-edged pendant, and a dodge stone. Not bad. Not amazing, but not bad. And, I mean, something I keep forgetting with all the financial troubles we're in is I can sell trinkets. Yeah, let's just stick with Beast Spile for now. Not that it does much of anything. Honestly, the Abomination, bringing the Abomination was probably a mistake. I'd love to have brought an Aura Bless, but we don't have any. Skewering... Ow. That's bad. And the bleeding is even worse.
Unnerved, unbalanced.
Okay, this ain't good.
Exposed to a killing blow.
How many criticals was that? Okay, I brought supply items for a reason, and I brought a powerful Vestal for a reason. Okay, Smite cannot one-shot, even if it hits, and the Sycophant has dodge of 31. Let me see something. Yeah, and also Presticott can't use any of his offensive abilities unless he's in position 1 or 2. Alright, Chop can kill, but it needs to hit.
Their
And it
formation
does.
is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Stick with Divine Comfort. We aren't guaranteed the ability to heal through everything they do. It depends on what they hit us with. Using the Thirst actually took away his riposte status. Interesting. Smite won't kill, but... Okay, that was at least a very good damage roll for Smite. I really should have gone for Beast Spile instead of Manacles there. Right, Chop has a fairly high chance, especially when it does that. Alright, guys. I know it looks bleak, and I also know this is the second fight we've gotten into and things are already this bad. We gotta keep going. Alright, Smite cannot kill this one. Beast Spile can't one-shot, but that's actually close enough. Still with Divine Comfort to just keep... We took wide area damage, we need wide area healing. And Chop can one-shot. Alright. Have to deal with one last Gather the Blood to remember him by. And... and just as he decided to give Gale the Crimson Curse as a parting gift. Well, Gil was bound to get it eventually. And Absolution. Since he'll die anyway on his next turn, I may as well just exclusively use healing abilities.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
What about the dodge stone to the busts? Okay, use medicinal herbs.
A handsome reward for a task well performed.
And we mostly just get food, but, well, I can use that to heal. Okay. Room battle with Curio. This means more Chevaliers, doesn't it? Yes, it does. I'd say because the game hates me personally, but let's be honest, the game hates us all equally. The game has a little hate in its heart for every one of us. Alright. Get some healing. And Smite won't one-shot, and it really won't two-shot either. You have to stick with each file. The Abomination doesn't actually have a lot that he can contribute, but he can contribute damage over time.
Obliterated.
By comparison, Gale really is just kind of carrying this team. Gale and Clarinel are the ones that are really responsible for most of what the team is accomplishing. The two guys in the middle are just kind of there. They're contributing a little, but it's the front and the back line that are really doing most of the work.
Panic. Weaken.
Okay, Smite didn't get the kill, but Zealous Accusation can finish off the Supplicant and damage the Chevalier next turn. Okay, going for Anti-Venom. Alright, how much is Chop gonna do this time? Let's find out. 17, very respectable. I would have preferred 35, but 17 I'll take. Yes, I'm the only person you'll find who will actually complain about not getting a critical. Not good. Not good. Zealous Accusation, and you managed to miss everything with words. Bandage. Let's go for Absolution. We need a little bit of healing. And Hugh. That will at least get rid of the Supplicant.
Destroy them all.
And Clarinel really needs to focus on healing. Stunning blow. And it would be resisted, wouldn't it? Vial. Comfort. Bandage. Alright. Even with a trinket boosting his accuracy and with his abilities upgraded to the second highest possible level, he still has difficulty hitting the enemy. Of course, considering the kind of damage he puts out when he hits, I really shouldn't complain about that. It's the only reason he's a remotely balanced hero. Okay, that's not good. That's epically not good. Foliot's life is very much in danger. Okay, fix him. At least he's not afflicted so that he'll refuse healing. That would just be the cherry on top of this. Bandage. Beast Bile also missed. I mean, the Beast Bile has actually done a large portion of the damage that we've done in total to these enemies, just because of the, Smite could kill, and it did. I was already preparing to say Smite could kill, but it will have to hit first, and then it did actually hit. Okay, no luck with the stun. Okay, a lot of people need healing, so let's just go with some broad healing. But even with a Resolve level 6 Vestal with perfectly upgraded gear and a trinket specifically boosting her ability to heal, I can't out-heal their ability to inflict damage. That's just how powerful the Chevaliers are. And I have a feeling I'm going to be seeing them for a long time in my nightmares. Okay, he's gone.
A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
Okay, I do not need 2 stacks of 12 food. I'm turning one of them into a snack of 12 food. Okay, they're all full. I'm also dropping the jade for the other thing of heirlooms. Lost treasury box. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, it'd be nice if I could see what's happening. And another room battle. Lovely. Alright. Let's purify the forgotten delicacies.
A fortune waiting to
And
be
find
spent.
more food we probably don't need. What terrible fortune. No, what's terrible fortune? Oh, just a disease check. I was gonna say, it's like, what terrible fortune? You didn't tell me what the terrible fortune was. Let's see if I can center the map on. You can kind of tell the map was not designed for an area this large. Okay, this is less of a problem because there's only one Chevalier. Okay, I can't manacle the Chevalier, but I can manacle the Courtesan. Okay, Chop has a good chance to one-shot. Hugh cannot one-shot.
Decimated.
So let's one-shot a manservant. Try to dazzle. I really should have gone for the healing, honestly, because we went into this fight damaged. Smite cannot kill. Let's go for stun. And Stunning Blow isn't going to stun because the stun resistance is also really high. Oh right, Careless Whispers. Damage and horror, because someone decided that the Ghoul's Howl ability wasn't dangerous enough, and so they upgraded it. Okay. Raging Slight. Okay, it missed. Good. Guess she managed to properly dodge the rude gesture. And the Courtesan is no longer guarded. Perfect. Well, I'm not going to be able to out-heal the... What does that do? Buffs their damage, debuffs their accuracy, but the best thing about this is it put the Chevalier in position 1. I'm bumping Gale. That didn't cause him to... That didn't... I gave Gale a vial of the blood, but it didn't cause him to enter Bloodlust. Oh, whatever. I'm still going to have him attack the Chevalier. It'd be real nice if I could stun the Chevalier to prevent him from moving. But he's only made it back to position 2 because you can only retreat by 1 space per action. Okay, let's keep trying to stun him. I need the Chevalier to die. I need him to die soon. And now he's out of range. Can I get him with Judgment? 4 to 8. Possible. And it does 1 damage less than I needed it to do. Come on. Alright. Zealous Accusation could kill the manservant, or it could accomplish nothing. That is always a possibility with Zealous Accusation. Infallible Servitude. I have the ability to render that almost meaningless. Alright. Beast Vial also does nothing. Wonderful. Alright, guys, I need you to try to hit the enemy. Okay, thank you, Gale. Okay, guys, I never thought I'd say this, but try to... Okay, the rest of you, try to be as accurate as the leper, please. Just use the leper as your example of how to hit the enemy.
Soothed. Sedated.
Alright. might. It won't kill, but it'll get us close. And Beast Bile will kill if it hits, and it does hit. And now for sure. There we go.
This
And now-
expedition at least promises success.
Another ancestral trinket, the Ancestor's Handkerchief. Trade the holy water for the Ancestor's Handkerchief. And again, I have way more food than I need, so I may as well feast. Now I'll take the rubies and leave the onyx. Okay. I'm betting that going to the right is the direction that will take me towards the boss in the long run. Okay, a large flesh eater, a manservant, and a sycophant walk up to a bar.
A decisive
Critical beast
pummeling.
bile, but he resisted the flight, so it's meaningless. Okay, infallible servitude is meaningless if I just let the abomination bile the manservant to death. Chop is pretty good. Let's go with Divine Grace on this one. Okay, unfortunately the Flesh Eater is going to be a bit slow to die. Even more so now that that has happened. Okay, whenever things seem to be going well, they always find a way to start going badly. I at least keep hitting the manservant with Beast Bile to keep the blight going. But the Vestal just needs... Okay, Clarinel, just heal for your life. Just heal. Don't pay any attention to anything else that's going on, just heal. Alright, Zealous Activation. Okay, that takes care of the manservant. Oh right, Beast Bile still can't hit the sycophant until it actually gets its action and dies.
Gently. This is how a life is taken.
And the thirst, forever causing problems. Q. Right, that's actually not enough to kill the... I should have checked to see if that was going to be enough to kill the sycophant. Okay, Clarinel, just keep healing. And that still isn't enough. And I really need to stop using Beast Bile on the enemy with 140% base blight resistance. I really need to remember to actually check these things. Okay, we're down to just the large flesh eater. Tentacle Devourer, which would be very dangerous if somebody were marked, but no one is.
The ground quakes.
Crushed by justice.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
Okay, what could I drop? Actually, I dropped the camouflage cloak in favor of the sapphires. We have actually made a decent amount of cash so far. Okay, this time the camera properly refocuses to... Let's go this way. Okay, I need to stop interacting with those without a supply item. And now... Okay, so he interacted with a wine crate and now he's an alcoholic. Wonderful. I'm not touching that damn fountain. Refuse to touch the damn fountain. Alright. I'm not falling for the wine crate thing again, okay? Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times. I found another locked gate. This one looks yellow. Since I don't have the key, that means the key must be in the other direction. Okay, You know, it really does confuse me a little bit that these guys can't figure out the concept of turning around. Like, they just moonwalk back the other way through the hallway. Why is it not marked on my map that requires a key? Do you have to have scouting in order for it to be indicated on the map? That is weird. Well, onward into the unknown. Okay, smash the blood flowers. Oh, Gamble dropping the last shovel for the crests. Okay, we could be about to enter a room with 4 chevaliers in it. Let's find out. Instead, safety. For now. Okay. More loot we probably can't carry. Indeed, more loot we can't carry. And still no enemies? Odd. I want to see what's up here. This seems to be leading directly back to the other room. I'm not going to bother with the shrew because all it will do is give me loot when we don't have space to carry it anyway. Okay, we have enemies. Let's see if there's anything else here. This may just be a dead end with monsters, in which case I made a bit of a mistake coming here. Fortunately, this is a less dangerous group than what we've been dealing with. Doing a manacle of sycophant to get the stun. We got the stun. I can't one-shot with Hugh, but I can one-shot with Chop. That does require me to hit. Damsel in distress. That's actually more helpful than harmful, I think. Okay, I'm going to light up a torch. Give everyone a small accuracy buff. There's only 3 accuracy. It isn't much, but I need all the help I can get, apparently. Smite can't kill, but it's at least a start. And more of the thirst. Fortunately, it's for one that was already at full health, so I don't at least have to deal with losing progress. Right. And maddening wine. Fortunately, these enemies do relatively little health damage, so I can use this as an opportunity to regain health. Midnight Minuet. Buffing their damage, but debuffing their accuracy arguably helps me. Okay, that's at least one sycophant dealt with. Now, if Gale could get an action, that'd be great. Chop and miss, even with the accuracy buff. I mean, it isn't much of an accuracy buff, but... yeah, Judgment isn't going to do anything meaningful, even fully upgraded with how much health these guys have. Judgment is good for finishing off enemies that are already seriously damaged, but it isn't going to do that. This isn't that situation. And the Crusader finally decided to come in and start taking this fight seriously with a much-needed critical. Alright. Stun. He's probably mad at me for saying that he hasn't been taking it seriously up to this point. Huge.
A singular strike.
Exactly. That is exactly what I needed to happen. Alright, let's get a stun on the sycophant. They have, I think, the lowest stun resistance of any enemy in this area. And even with, well, now it's a miss rather than a dodge, I guess. But even with the stun, Presticott still can't hit it. And yeah, I didn't expect Manacles to stun, but it can at least damage. And Judgment to finish the job.
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
Okay, let me move. This leads us back to here. That's odd. But does this mean I can go around the locked gate? It does not. The gate is still locked. So this is just another way of getting to the same room. Okay, which means more moonwalking to get back to the door. The blood, I must have the blood. Okay, Gale is craving now. I have plenty of blood, though. Shrew's claws are like iron. Okay, so that could have caused a disease, but at least you resisted it. It's kind of funny. Gale had so much luck avoiding the Crimson Curse in the first run, but this time he actually finally manages to get infected. Oh, wonderful. Well, you have to clear the obstacle by hand.
You must rely on flesh and indefatigable purpose.
Okay, and the abomination is fearful now. Alright, we're not going to be able to make it much farther, but I think I'm going to try to hold out until at least one more affliction arises. Okay, we got big scouting. I'm going to skip the room with the guaranteed room battle for now. Okay, let's de-stress a little bit by burning away the throbbing cocoons. Well, it's not enough to remove the affliction. Not that I expected it to be. And loot. I'm actually going to leave that for now because the thing is we'll probably end up going back through this area again, either during this run or during a later run. And so I can collect the loot then. And I commented about the ghouls being less dangerous than the current enemies, and so who do we meet but a ghoul?
Precision and power.
Okay, at least Skull Talk missed. That's at least that small bit of good news I really need. Can chop one shot? Yes, it can. And it does! And guess what? If you kill the enemy in one hit, they don't get to riposte. Okay, and Gale is now refusing treatment. Alright. It has 90% stun resistance, but it is unholy. Just go for Smite. Yeah, I'll take Manacles' 30% chance to stun, though. Give Gale give Gale a blood transfusion. I am the Fury. And get even more damage. Get the already high damage Gale even higher into damage. Okay. And yeah, this ghoul isn't going to go down quick, but we can take it. Beast File. A little bit of extra damage. And our old friend Chop. And our old friend Dodge. It's down to 14. It really has something against Folia. This ghoul has only attacked the Abomination. And take us home, Presticott. Or not, your choice. Actually, no, that did it because of the Blight. I guess the ghoul knew that the Abomination would be the ultimate cause of his downfall and kept throwing skulls at him to try to prevent him from doing that.
A death by inches.
Okay. I'm actually going to drop the last of the skeleton keys for more crests. Ah! I even had that on the map, I just forgot about it.
Clemency in this place.
Sometimes it feels like the ancestor is talking directly to me. Okay, and we move forward into the unknown. I'm not going to risk the delicacies without the medicinal herbs to clean them. Again, I'll leave that for on the way back. And I found something that looks important. And now 3 of the 4 team members have the Crimson Curse. I managed to get blanket amnesty for the Crimson Curse this episode, and we already have so many people that have it.
Masterfully
That's what happens when you let
executed.
That's what happens when you let the infection progress that much. Because the thing is, well, I got rid of the curse on people, I didn't reset the infection of the hamlet. Alright, light a torch for the accuracy
A
buff.
brilliant confluence of skill and
Get some
purpose.
healing on Gale. Alright. Manacles is even worse of an idea than
Well
Beast's
struck.
Vial, because while they have high blight resistance, they have unfathomable stun resistance. Anti-venom? And shock. Judgment could kill. Instead, it just barely fails to. It does the most damage it can possibly do and not kill. And Zealous Accusation, which, yep, if it hits, we'll get rid of one of them. Alright. One supplicant left. And there we go. 29 without a critical. That's
These
my man
nightmarish
Gale.
creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
Okay. Forgotten Strongbox. Let's see what this is. Chipped Tooth, the flagellants only. It's a. Okay, so this is not a key, this is just loot, but it's a unique flagellant trinket. We're all falling apart. I'll drop the last of the anti-venom for that. And I have more scouting, and again, it centers on the center of the map where nothing is happening. And this just connects me back to here. Which means there's nothing else to get, but I can walk back through here and avoid much more combat. Okay, burn away this stuff. Okay, that's not terribly impressive, that can stay behind. We've got a pretty good haul of loot so far. And, well, I'm not sure how much longer we're going to be able to hold out. I think we can hold out for a little while yet. I mean, we're good for food. Now let me see if I can center the map so I know where we are. Okay. Torch.
Packs
And
laden
that
with
is
loot
some good loot.
are often low on supplies.
Alright. Unfortunately, to get to the air... What just happened? That was weird. That was really weird. So a trap and a fight spawned in, and I didn't even get a chance to see them on the map before they were on top of us. Blood for all! Yeah, I know, Gale. Blood for the Blood God. Well, right, let's get some skulls for his skull throne. Feel the wrath of the hopeless. And Gale is down to passive, but he's at least... He can still one-shot a sycophant while he's passive. And I don't even need to worry about the corpse now, because everyone can hit position 2 comfortably. Okay, I'm going to Stunning Blow. I want to stun the... I want to keep the Chevalier stunned as much as possible. Also, Smite doesn't really do the best damage anyway. Chop. Okay, just keep going. Alright, 110% versus 130% base stun chance. So Even with the buff, I still have a 1 in 5 chance of stunning him. I'll go for it. I mean, I didn't get the stun, but it's worth trying. This I only have a 10% chance to stun, but why not? Take us home, Gale. Or not. You know, Clarendelle probably could get the kill, and she can't out-heal his attacks. So, but Clarendelle specializes in reducing enemies to exactly 1 hit point. That's actually her special technique that she loves to show off. She doesn't entirely realize why that's not helpful.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
I'm actually going to drop the double-edged pendant in favor of the 8 crests. I can get the double-edged pendant elsewhere, and since I already have the Lioness War Paint and Heaven's Hairpin, I already have 2 really good Hellion trinkets. But we have the ability to continue for a little while yet. Though depending on what this respawning hallway battle does to us, I don't know how far we'll make it. Ah, our first Flesh Eater! Yeah, let's do the manacles on the ghoul, see if we can stun it. Chop to just get rid of the Flesh Eater. You know what? Close enough. Alright, Divine Comfort. I can out-heal pretty much anything this group can do right now, barring criticals anyway.
Inspiration and improvement.
And now the entire team has the Crimson Curse. Lovely. Fortunately, at least this area is pretty generous in terms of giving me blood. Alright. Stick with manacles for now. Concentrating on... Oh, of course, trying to push the Vestal over into Affliction. What do we get this time? And we get... Okay, the Vestal is abusive.
Frustration and fury. More destructive than 100 cannons.
Okay, can I one-shot this with Purge? No, but I can damage it a lot with Purge. And remove the corpse. Okay, Smite will not one-shot, so let's go for Stunning Blow. Not that it was successful anyway. Okay, it didn't use the Thirst. That is good. I missed it with Manacle. That is bad.
The wounds of war
The Vestal
can
continue
be
healing.
healed, but never hidden.
And heal. And miss! Alright. Okay, Zealous Accusation. That way we can at least get rid of, And now Presticott's resolve is tested. Let's see what we get from him. Paranoid! Okay, we've gotten a different affliction for each one of them so far. Let's see if that continues. Going for Inspiring Cry on the leper, actually for the health restoration, because he's bleeding for 7 and I have no bandages. Technically he's bleeding for 21, but 7 per round. And Howl. The thing is, while almost everyone is afflicted...
The boldest gaze.
The thing is, while almost everyone is afflicted, nobody's particularly close to 200. Which means I don't need to worry about heart attacks yet. And Gale's resolve is tested, and he is focused.
A moment of clarity in the eye of the storm.
You have the killing eye. Turn it towards our victory. So one of the effects of focused is that he says he buffs his allies. He'll apparently say inspiring things to power up his teammates. Also, yeah, statistically, the odds of becoming afflicted are 75%. So in a team of 4, what's most likely to happen is 3 people become afflicted and 1
The
becomes
bigger the
virtuous.
beast, the greater the glory.
Okay. Stress has lost a lot of its meaning thanks to all of that. But we can't really endure very much more before we're dead. And I don't want to have any fatalities on this run. I mean, I don't want fatalities ever, but we have made quite a bit of progress. But I want to keep going. As long as this video already is, I want to keep exploring, see how far we can make it. We already have a key that we need. On the other hand, that's really how this game gets you. You've made a lot of progress, you have a lot of loot, you've made a lot of progress towards the mission, and you just want a little more, and then everyone dies and you lose everything. Anyway, we've made it into uncharted territory again. Really quick see something. I've zoomed out as far as it will let me, but there's very little to explore out here. So the good news is that by the process of elimination, the key pretty much has to be somewhere past here. It's just that I don't know how big past here is, so that doesn't necessarily narrow it down very much. Okay. Into the unknown. Okay, the hammer hasn't come down yet. And this is just a curio, not a room battle, so we just have a hallway battle to deal with. Though, let's be honest, in the Crimson Court, there isn't much of a difference. Especially when every enemy has some ability to heal itself. Okay, moving the courtesans forward is to my advantage. Them using damsel in distress is not. Alright. I'm gonna go with zealous accusation, and it doesn't matter because it missed. Go for some healing. Honestly, this fight is probably going to be the breaking point. Alright, chop. Okay, that's one of the 2 really dangerous ones gone. Though even then, courtesans aren't that bad. It's chevaliers that we really need to worry about. Okay, Midnight Minuet again. Okay, and unfortunately the Abomination is getting a bit close to having a heart attack, though he still isn't above 150 yet. Yes, he is above 150, I just don't know how to read that thing properly. Actually, I have 2 people who are at or above 150 stress. And I have a Vestal who is constantly increasing everyone's stress to make things worse. Rid of the sixth supplicant. Almost rid of the supplicant. And finally, someone goes for the third. It was bound to happen sooner or later. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, we just have to deal with 1 super buff courtesan. Dazzling light. Partially for the damage, mostly for the stun. Expose the vein. Okay, mark and a debuff is what that does. I don't know what the debuff is, but... Okay. And we got 16 crests.
In view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
Okay, this is the breaking point. I think we need to get out of here. Everyone has... Gale, the one with the lowest stress, has 90, and I have 2 different people who are above 150 stress. It's time to regroup.
Do not ruminate on this fleeting failure. The campaign is long, and victory will come.
I wouldn't really call this a failure, though. It seems like they didn't record new ancestor lines for regrouping in the hamlet. Like, it would make sense for the ancestor to have a line that's more about, like, you're regrouping but you've made progress rather than treating it as a defeat. But the ancestor seems to react to regrouping as if it's a defeat, even though these missions weren't designed to be completed in a single mission, or in a single run. Unfortunately, nobody got experience. Everyone's stress is 100 now, and everyone got the Crimson Curse. Risk Taker. That's actually not a bad ability. Increased damage but reduced dodge. And the Vestal is obsessed with food, which is rather disturbingly appropriate for that mission that she was just on.
I remember days when the sun shone and laughter could be heard from the tavern.
And I still can't treat Dismas! He just has to tough it out, apparently. I can treat Gale, Clarinel, and Gale and Clarinel. I can't afford to treat Presticott, though. In fact, I can really only afford to treat Clarinel. The others are just going to have to wait until we have more money. We did get a pretty good haul of heirlooms, though. Anyway, after making some progress on building up the rookies, and also managing to make a little progress towards taking on the Viscount, this is going to be the end of this abnormally long episode. Thank you all for watching. I love you all, and I will see you next time.